fastest championship races in history.
Clear. Keep going. No caution. Don't slow down.
Here comes Jimmy Johnson looking for checkers in the first state of Delaware.
40 cars offer no help whatsoever.
The new boss looks a lot like the old boss.
Who will hold the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship lead at the end of today's 400 miles? It could be any one of 6 drivers. Welcome to the MBNA All-American Heroes 400 live on TNT from Dover Downs International Speedway in Delaware. Budweiser, the official beer of NASCAR, is the proud sponsor of the Bud Pole Award given to the fastest qualifier at each Winston Cup race. Rusty Wallace with his first pole since November 2000, edging second place by 8 1,000ths of a second on Friday. Since 1979, Anheuser-Busch has awarded more than $7 million as title sponsor of NASCAR's Pole Award program. And now, while you look at the Walmart starting grid for today's race, let's talk to the guy starting on the outside of the front row.
Bill, Jared, Benny Parsons, you got me?
I've got you, Benny.
DJ, a lot of drivers have talked about this new tire that Goodyear's brought this weekend and comparing to tires used 3 or 4 years ago. Is that your assessment?
Well, certainly the tire has a little bit more grip, and we already see a lot more rubber down on the racetrack than what we've seen here in the last few years. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. With the new setups we run, I think everything with the construction still being basically the same, just a softer compound, we're going to see a heck of a race here today.
Well, you won back in 1998. They're playing right into your hands, aren't they?
I hope so. That's what we're looking forward to anyway. Of course, the cars have changed. A lot has changed, but we still do think we know how to win here. So hopefully that'll happen today for this UPS team.
Happy with your car yesterday?
I was pretty happy in the first practice session with my car. We tried some things in the second session that weren't quite as good. So we went back to that and made a couple of slight adjustments. So I'm looking to have a good car in the long runs today.
Thanks, DJ. Good luck to you.
Well, Benny, have a good day.
Dale Jarrett starting alongside Rusty Wallace on the front row, former winner here at Dover. Things to note about this starting grid as you look through it. Casey Atwood scheduled to start 20th. He's in the backup car after a crash yesterday in practice. He'll go to the back of the field. And most of the top 5 in the championship, all of the top 5 in the championship for that matter, going to start from 19th spot on back.
And there's your championship leader, Mark Martin, back in 32nd position.
And the final cars to qualify for the race on time, the Kevin and Kenny row. And then we go to provisional land. Michael Waltrip finished 8th place last week. Says he's got a pretty good car for today. See what kind of progress he's able to make through the pack.
And Ward Burton, the cat car, seems to me has been struggling all weekend. We'll see if they made any changes this morning, if it's any better.
Tim Sauter and Dave Marcus's car. Tony Raines in for his second Winston Cup start here at Dover. And Hideo Fukuyama from Suzuka City, Japan, starting last on the field in a Travis Carter entry. 3 drivers unable to qualify. Brett Bodine, unfortunately, had used up all the provisionals he has allotted to this point in the season, and he was not able to be in today's race. Heartbreaking for him, I'm sure.
And yesterday's winner in the NASCAR Busch Series race, Scott Wimmer, unable to qualify.
A couple of more pace laps before the green flag. We'll check down on pit road now. Here's Matt Yoakum.
Well, Alan, the rookie Greg Biffle continues to impress, filling in for the injured Bobby Hamilton Sr. He qualified 5th on Friday and really likes his chances at a racetrack known to be stingy to first-time winners. But if successful, it'll be the first time since the fall of 1999 that we've seen back-to-back first-time winners. Dave.
Matt, Kurt Busch qualified 6th, and according to his crew, who I spoke to this morning, has a fast race car and race trim. But Kurt has to be careful. Twice here at Dover, he has lost the right front tire on his car. He has to take care of that right front. It happened once in a truck. It happened once earlier this year at this track in his Winston Cup car. If he does take care of the right front, talk around the garage is this car has a chance to win. Marty?
Well, Dave, Bill Elliott could add a lot of red to this red, white, and blue day here at Dover. The car is very good for Bill. He finished 2nd here in June, but that was on a different tire. We've already talked about that. The setup notes they had from June, they're junk. They had to come up with a new setup completely different than anything they've ever run here at Dover, but Bill says we're pretty confident about the win. After all, this car has adapted very well. The worst it's finished this year is 3rd. Bill? Marty, Ricky Rudd is a 4-time winner here and might have had his 5th win at this track in this race 1 year ago, but got turned around by Rusty Wallace. Now, there are 2 storylines swirling around Ricky Rudd. The first is that he's 10th in points, 227 out of the lead, and still a contender for the championship. The other storyline is that Robert Yates Racing and the Wood brothers might be ready to make the switch, sending Elliott Sadler to Yates and Rudd to the 21. That's where each will race next season. What's going to be the deciding factor? I don't think it's how good Ricky Rudd is. I think it's how well Ricky runs. He can either chase the championship and pick up the points, or he might be picking up his seat and moving to the Wood brothers very soon. Alan?
Talking about storylines there, Bill, let's check some of the storylines that we'll also follow throughout this 400 miles at Dover.
Championship. I mean, it is the closest championship ever in the history of NASCAR. Winston Cup competition. 6 drivers could lead here with the lead after today's race.
Tires. What we saw in the Busch race yesterday, I don't think the tire's going to be an issue. I think a lot of the drivers like this new tire, and we're just going to have to see if they don't wear out the inside of the right front too much.
And the groove. Michael Walter primarily. How high will Michael Walter take that 15 car? He's in the back, and you know when they go down in turn 1 and all the guys start fighting for the bottom of the groove, he's going to the top and said, catch me up here if you can.
He'll be the one to dust it off first, and then we'll see if it's effective as it was yesterday in the NASCAR Busch Series race. So we're getting set to go. 400 laps around this 1-mile racetrack. Make up the distance today. $3.9 million. The prize money available for the 43 drivers.
Pit window 90 to 100 laps. I don't think many cars are going to be able to squeeze 100 laps. If they could, then you're looking at a 3-stop race on the green flag. But most guys are going to be very close to that 90, I think, which means you're going to have to stop 4 times. And tires, Wally, they got tires stacked up from one end of pit road to the other.
Yeah. Race teams figured it's going to seem like the old days. Every time there's a chance, they'll be firing 4 tires at the race car. Pace cars off. 140,000 here at the Monster Mile, ready to see who will win this latest round in the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship. Rusty Wallace brings him to the green.
Boy, Dale got a terrible start.
Cloud of dust is at the backstretch crossover gate where vehicles go in and out of the Speedway. Nothing to worry about there. They'll be gone after a couple laps. And Rusty Wallace leads lap 1. Earnhardt Jr. is second. Greg Biffle is third. Dale Jarrett slots in 4th.
And Robbie Gordon was the guy that used that high groove down in turns 1 and 2. He was about 3 wide on the outside. And here comes Junior right on the back bumper of Rusty Wallace.
Beer battle. Lap 2, Junior to the inside of Rusty for the lead. The defending winner of this race, Dale Earnhardt Jr., started 3rd last year, just as he did today. A year ago, he led 193 laps on his way to victory lane.
To Tony Urey Jr., the car chief on this Budweiser car, just before the Golden Benny Award, and he told me that Dale Jr. was very happy with the car, and they were optimistic about pulling off this 2nd in a row, 2 Septembers in a row.
Kind of looks like things are bunched up with Greg Biffle on back there in 3rd place. Looks like Dale Jarrett might be a little faster. Here's John Andretti under Jeremy Mayfield. That's at 10th place. Steve Park right behind him in the 1.
Still looks like everybody's a little bit better down on that bottom groove right now. Wow, Park got loose there. Looks like Elliott Sadler's going to take advantage of that.
That 43 car, John Andretti. Keep watching later in the race for your chance to win a day with the King, Richard Petty. Richard owns that car. Your chance to have the King come to your hometown. Keep track of where his cars are running.
On board with Elliott Sadler. This race sponsored by the Air Force because Dover Air Force Base nearby.
Call that the bomber paint scheme. There's one of the stealth bombers pictured on the hood of that car.
Jeff Green liked that high groove yesterday in the Busch Series race, and he's already up there. That's Jeff in the 30 car.
And usually at a place like this, you wait for somebody to get up there and clean that top groove off a little bit. It's going to take a little bit of time to get that track cleaned up over there, but it looks like Jeff wanted to be the first guy up there.
Jeff Green in the 30, working to the outside of Steve Park in the 1 for 12th place. Jeremy Mayfield just ahead of them in the 19. He runs 11th.
Looks like he's coming in pretty quick up there.
Nothing happening up front. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Rusty Wallace still running 1 and 2. And Jeff Green still trying to use that rim riding technique to get a spot on Mayfield.
Well, you get in, and the guy that's on the bottom gets through the center a little bit better, but if you can run on the top, usually you carry a lot of momentum, and you're actually faster down the straightaways.
Shuffling it up for third.
That was third. Ryan Newman, the winner last week, takes the 12 Alltel car to third spot. Biffle is now back-to-back 5th or 6th, about to lose a spot to Kurt Busch. That's Biffle in 55, Busch in 97.
And Joe Nemechek just behind them in the 25.
Boy, Nemechek in the 25 car right behind these two was so happy with his car this morning. It's been a dismal year for Joe and these guys in the 25 car. They have struggled, but they got a new crew chief, a new car chief, and he was very optimistic this morning.
Peter Suspenzo taking over, leading that team as crew chief just with last week's race at New Hampshire. Peter worked with Jeremy Mayfield and Mike Wallace at Roger Penske's 12 car a year ago. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is the leader. He took the lead at lap number 3. We're just underway at Dover. You're watching NASCAR on TNT.